What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tru Element 78 in the building with
the one and only Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer, the X-Man Xavier Mustafa.
And there is no Chris Black on this episode this time. We decided to give him the night off for him to get all lovey-dovey with the wife. It's their anniversary, so he has the night off. And when I say that it's your boy Tru Element 78 in the building with the X-Man Xavier Mustafa, we mean it literally. We have gotten together tonight to bring you guys our Elimination Chamber predictions. And we do know that there's a lot going on in professional wrestling right now, and we will be discussing those things on our February 23rd episode. So be on the lookout for that episode. That's when we're going to discuss the Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso situation where he squared up with the police. We're going to discuss things that have been going on with AEW, especially like their transgender wrestler who they've hired over there. We're also going to be discussing just everything leading into WrestleMania and just what's going on. So be sure to tune in and download and subscribe for our February 23rd episode. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing on the Elimination Chamber and try to knock this out for you guys in 30 minutes or less. Let me give you guys a match rundown really quickly. We got a Cruiserweight Championship match. It's going to be Buddy Murphy taking on Akira Tozawa. That's a kickoff match. We got Braun Strowman taking on Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match. We have an Intercontinental Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, and they're taking on Finn Balor. So it's a handicap match. And if Lio Rush is pinned or Bobby Lashley is pinned, Finn Balor becomes the Intercontinental Champion. We have the Raw Women's title on the match. That's going to be Ronda Rousey taking on Ruby Riott. We got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the world's greatest tag team, as The Miz and Shane McMahon take on the Usos. Speaking of the Usos.
If they can all make it.
And then, yeah, they might be in the Uso penitentiary. And then we also have the Elimination Chamber match for the first ever, and I'm doing that in quotations, first ever women's tag team champions to be crowned in that match. And that's going to be the Boss and Hook Connection taking on the Iconics, taking on the, what are they calling themselves? Beauty and Fire? Or
Fire and Desire.
Yeah, Fire and Desire, which is Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Then who else is in this match? There's a lot.
Naomi and Camilla.
Yeah, Naomi and Camilla didn't. Oh yeah, no, they did. No, they didn't make it, did they?
Yeah, no.
Okay, Naomi and Carmella are in the match.
You got Nia Jax, Tamina.
Nia Jax and Tamina.
And that's it.
And that's it.
The Riot Squad. I think you said them. So.
No, I didn't say the Riot Squad.
Okay.
So yeah, the Riot Squad. And then we have the WWE Championship on the line in the Elimination Chamber match, where you're gonna have the champion Daniel Bryan taking on Kofi Kingston, taking on Samoa Joe, taking on AJ Styles, taking on Randy Orton, taking on Jeff Hardy. And that's it. Oh, and Kofi Kingston.
You said Kofi. You said Kofi earlier.
All right. Well, you know, I got to emphasize the Black History Month. Kofi Kingston.
I see you on the Kofi Kingston bandwagon this week. What about us that's been there the whole time?
But like I said, we're kicking things off with the kickoff match where we got Buddy Murphy taking on Akira Tozawa. What are your predictions for this one?
I'm actually looking forward to this match. I've actually been paying attention to 205 Live ever since Royal Rumble, seeing the live show there, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start paying attention to this more. And even before that, I've been a big fan of Akira Tozawa, and I think it's time that he gets some championship gold on him. I think they would put some on him, especially with the situation with Hideo Itami leaving, with the rumors going around that, God, I can't think of his name now, Shinsuke leaving. I think they want to put a focus around their Japanese stars.
Just put the butt on them and be like, this could have been you, Kenta. This could have been you.
But you know, Akira's always he's a good, solid wrestler, and you know, he just got married not too long ago. He got a wife to support. He need a belt. He need more money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you take the belt off of him this close to WrestleMania, off of Buddy Murphy. I mean, this close to WrestleMania. I feel like they want to save that for a big moment at WrestleMania. Of course, they're going to be on the kickoff show. We already know that. Also, I want to throw in this quick tidbit, which we'll be discussing more in depth on the 23rd episode, on our February 23rd episode. WrestleMania is being expanded by an hour. So you ready for 12 hours of WrestleMania this year?
Man, I'm just ready to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch the pre-show. Watch that for 4 hours and watch the pre-show.
But you're picking Akira Tozawa. I'm gonna pick Buddy Murphy to retain his cruiserweight championship in this match.
Yeah, to say realistically, yeah, probably Buddy Murphy would go over, but I would like to see Akira Tozawa have a moment. Yeah. I think he deserves it.
And then next up, we got Baron Corbin taking on Braun Strowman in a no DQ match, which we pretty much already had. And Braun Strowman's arm was in a sling for this, and he decided to get the locker room to gang up on Baron Corbin. And that's how Baron Corbin became no longer the acting general manager of Monday Night Raw. So, with that being said, I think Baron Corbin goes over in this match.
You know how I feel about this match? You know when you're like, when you're in college and you got a big exam the next day and you study all night into the next morning, and you know you got the exam that morning, you know you're not going to go to sleep and you're just physically ill because you stayed up so late studying, and you got to get up, you got to go to that class, you still feel terrible. That's how I feel about this match. I am tired of seeing these two wrestle. If this ain't nothing short of a squash, Braun Strowman just destroying Baron Corbin, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, Braun Strowman, WWE is making him appear washed at this point, and he's already becoming a tired character now because of the booking that they've done with him. Like I said, we're going to get into more discussions on our next episode, full episode, but you know how they do the 50-50 booking. I could see Baron Corbin going over somehow in this match. I don't know how. Bobby Lashley has his own situation going on later, so I couldn't necessarily see him getting involved in this. But you never know. Those guys have been working together. And actually, someone who's not involved on this card at all is Drew McIntyre. So
that's funny. Great minds think alike, because I was just thinking that.
So that may be how Baron Corbin can pull out the victory in this match.
So then where do you go from there? Do you go Braun Strowman? Okay, you know what?
Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. That's what you're going to have.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Braun Strowman and McIntyre.
Because Drew has nothing going on. Braun has nothing going on. And Baron definitely isn't going to have anything going on by WrestleMania. And actually, I feel like at this point, Baron Corbin is in need of a vacation. So, something could, like, Baron could win the match and get taken out by Braun and miss Mania or something. Or at least get a month, get Fastlane off and come back at Mania or something like that. But, yeah, I see Baron Corbin going over Braun Strowman in this match. Next up, we got the handicap match. We got Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush taking on Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Who's your pick?
This is going to be a very entertaining match, but I see Bobby Lashley retaining. And it's just basically, it's going to be the numbers game.
I see Finn Balor going over in this match as a favor to him for the beating that he took from Brock Lesnar. Unless they're going to do an angle where the Demon gets beaten out of Finn Balor to return at Mania or something like that.
See, that's what I see happening. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush go over dirty in this match. So human Finn Balor
to awaken the Demon.
And then do some chicanery at Fastlane. And then finally you get Demon Balor versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. And he kicks the crap out of Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush and wins the title.
And you know what? Actually, I'm going to change my pick. I am going to pick Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush to go over Finn Balor. Finn Balor needs it. He doesn't really have any momentum right now. And that's funny to say he doesn't have any momentum after coming off of a Universal title opportunity against Brock Lesnar. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Bobby and Lio. And I think Leo's actually going to get the pinfall on Finn Balor. Next up, we've got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Miz and Shane McMahon, taking on the Usos. Based on the the Law catching up with Jimmy Uso, I see Shane and The Miz retaining, and the fallout happening at Fastlane.
Well, first I want to say, if you're the law and you come for the Usos, man, you got to put them hands up. That's all he was trying to say. Yeah, I definitely, especially with that situation going on, I see Shane McMahon and The Miz going over. I don't see them losing the titles anytime soon.
Anytime soon? You don't think it's all setting up for a Shane and Miz match at Mania?
That's where you think this is going? Okay. I could see that.
Like I see, I just don't see them pulling the trigger that early on the Fallout. I see it coming at Fastlane to go into Mania, or they could swerve us and they lose the belts at Mania, and that gets us on a road to a SummerSlam collision between Shane and The Miz. But yeah, I'm picking Shane and The Miz to retain against the Usos.
We've been pretty much, besides the Buddy Murphy, we've been picking the same people.
Well, I picked Baron Corbin and you picked Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah, okay, so two. All right.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey taking on Ruby Riott, and I think this is one of those moments where a precious gem is going to get crushed by someone's fist, and those fists belong to Ronda Rousey. There's no way that Ruby Riott defeats Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey definitely going to win, but I actually feel for Ruby Riott in this situation because one, she's not a terrible wrestler, but she's in this situation where there are three super powered women around this whole situation. So with Charlotte being at ringside, you know, that's going to be attention taken away from her. Ronda Rousey being Ronda Rousey, that's going to be attention taken away from Ruby Riott. You know the man is going to have to show up and do something. Like, the writing's on the wall. She's going to pop up. And so I feel like Ruby Riott is in that kind of an awkward situation. But, you know, hopefully she makes the best out of it, you know, puts on a good match, and they give her something down the line for, you know, taking this L on all sides.
Yeah, I don't see any way that Ruby Riott beats Ronda Rousey this close to Mania. I don't even think that you even need any chicanery coming from Charlotte or Becky Lynch in this match, because they want Ronda to retain so that the match can happen, whether that's with Becky or that is with Charlotte. For those of you tuned in to Raw on Monday, you know what I'm talking about, with Charlotte being the replacement for Becky Lynch right now due to interference by Vince McMahon. Interjection, I'm not going to say interference, but an interjection by Mr. McMahon, not Vince McMahon. So, yeah, that's how that is going to go. Then next up, we have the crowning of this era's first ever women's tag team champions in an Elimination Chamber match. For those of you who do not know the rules of Elimination Chamber match, two contestants start the match. I'm assuming in this case it's going to be two tag teams starting the match. And every 5 minutes, someone is released from a pod into the match. So, as we said before, we have the Boss and Hug Connection, which is Bayley and Sasha Banks, taking on Fire and Desire and Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, taking on Naomi and Carmella, taking on Tamina and Nia Jax, taking on Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, taking on the Iconics. Who's your pick for this match?
So there's so many teams that I'm leaning towards. Like, I like Naomi and Carmella. I like them too as a tag team. It's weird, but it's like working for me. But I think I got to give it to my girls. Got to give it to the Iconics.
Yeah, I'm actually picking the Iconics to win this. That's actually funny. Like, we did not discuss this prior, but a lot of people were looking at the Boston Hug Connection. I feel like if WrestleMania is going to be 12 hours long, we need another women's match, and this could be the opportunity for Bayley and Sasha to have their true falling out, finally pulling the trigger on that. So I could see the Iconics winning the tag team championships, mainly because they haven't been doing anything with them, and it gives them something to do. It seems like all of these women are pretty much floating, besides Nia Jax and Tamina, who, for some reason, is odd that they don't feel like they're lost without any direction, even though they're not in any storyline right now.
Yeah.
Like none of the women in it. Mandy and Sonya have their thing going on with Naomi and Carmella, or at least Naomi. So there's no reason for them to win the tag belts and keep Carmella and Naomi as a team. The Riot Squad doesn't need those belts unless they give them the tag titles as a favor to Ruby Riot for them to basically do the New Day thing where they have the Freebird rule going on. So it's between Sarah Logan and Naomi. I mean, how I say Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan or the Iconics, and like I said, I'm gonna pick the Iconics.
I think this is going to be a very good match. I'm sort of looking at the names, and you're going to have Nia Jackson, Tamina, and they're destroying people.
Well, you already know they're going through a pod.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, they're not going to go through a pod because they got to save the pods for the main event.
If that's not, no, I don't think that. Yeah, I was gonna say if that's not the main event, but they'll probably make the elimination, the WWE Championship one the main event. But
I can see the tag titles actually kicking off the show.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Have book in your big chamber matches.
Yeah, I think with all these different characters and stuff you have in there, this should be a really, really fun match to watch.
All right. And then finally, we've made it to the main event, which is Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion, defending against Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe inside the Elimination Chamber. With Randy Orton securing his spot as the final person to enter into the chamber. As on SmackDown, he won the gauntlet match by RKOing AJ Styles from out of nowhere. And also within that match, originally before Kofi Kingston was inserted into this match, it was Mustafa Ali, who was unable and not cleared to compete in the Elimination Chamber match due to his surmounting amount of injuries, everything from his eye to his tailbone to a concussion. And so he was replaced by Kofi Kingston, who had a fantastic showing on SmackDown, lasting over an hour in the Elimination Chamber match. I don't know what the official time is. I feel like they're not saying it because he may have actually lasted longer than Seth Rollins did last year. But who's your pick for this match?
Well, first off, I want to say Mustafa Ali got cheated because, I mean, it was the beatdown he took from Randy Orton, beatdown he took from Daniel Bryan, and the beatdown he took from Samoa Joe's reason why he out. All these dudes is like beat the crap out of him, and now he gone. I think it's going to come down, just based off the showing they had, I think it's going to come down to Kofi and Daniel Bryan, with the crowd being super, super hot for Kofi, but with Daniel Bryan going over again. And this just brings me back memories when they had the Elimination Chamber here in Milwaukee. It came down to Daniel Bryan and Santino Marella, and the crowd was going nuts for Santino. And it was probably one of the greatest moments I got to sit live in the wrestling event and see. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Kofi here.
I see it coming down to, I don't know. I can see it coming down to Bryan, Kofi, and AJ, or Bryan, Kofi, and Randy Orton. I think they're going to get Jeff Hardy out of there quick, with Samoa Joe going out of there next. Or they could swerve everybody and have Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan be the last two in there. I know that'll be a heel dynamic, so it wouldn't make that much of sense. Like, it could be Daniel, Samoa, and Kofi could eliminate Samoa Joe, which we discussed on the podcast. It's funny that, like, no matter what position Joe is in, he's had so many opportunities and lost every single one of them, but for some reason he still feels credible.
Well, I think we're finally, because I don't think we've ever gotten an RKO from the top of a pod or somebody coming off of a pod. So we're probably going to get a good Randy Orton moment out of this match.
Jeff Hardy taking that bump. Kofi ain't taking that bump.
I just want to say, like, we know probably Jeff Hardy will go out earlier, but he's definitely going to get a swanton off of something. Definitely. Something to keep Samoa Joe dominant. I mean, one thing I will say is, even though he's lost a lot of matches, he's still been able to keep his dominant persona. Like, people still take him seriously, which is kind of amazing. Because I figure by now people will be like, yes, Mondo, you never won nothing. But every time you come out, it's jump.
Exactly. So he's one of those anomalies in wrestling that no matter how many times he loses, like we were just saying with Braun Strowman doesn't feel special anymore. Whenever Samoa Joe steps out there, he still feels special, even though he's lost all of his big matches.
I think there's probably maybe different promo skills, and I also feel like Joe isn't put out there mainly due to injury, that he's not put out there as much as Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is always out there. Even when he's injured, he was on television. Yeah. So, I don't know. It may just be because he's not as heavily featured. But I feel that no matter what the belt looks like, they don't give you a custom belt for you to go out there and lose it only a month later. And I also feel like you're not losing that WWE Championship this close to Mania. Who does Daniel Bryan face at Mania? I don't know. I hope it's not AJ Styles. I really don't want to see that match again. I've seen it. I know a lot of people out there might disagree with that. And I don't know what you do with AJ Styles if he's not competing for the WWE Championship at Mania. But I'm picking Daniel Bryan to retain. And I don't know what the road to WrestleMania looks like for everyone else in this match after this Elimination Chamber match. See, think about this. This is why they need to bring the Money in the Bank back to
Mania.
Because, I mean, I could totally see AJ Styles in that match. I can totally see Joe in that match. I can totally see, maybe throw some NXT people in there. Leo Rush. Like, that's where these people could be. Instead of some random battle royal. So, instead of some random battle royal, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So, who did you pick?
Oh, to win the match, Daniel Bryan.
All right, so we're in agreement with every match except for Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman and Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. So we'll see how it goes on Sunday. The road to WrestleMania, or at least in the women's division, is pretty much clear. But as far as everything in the men's division is very unclear on what everyone's going to be doing at Mania. So those have been our Royal Rumble predictions. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. Since you're already listening to us, you know exactly where you found us. So subscribe to us here on YouTube. Hit that bell so you're notified whenever we upload a new episode. We will be having a Elimination Chamber review for you guys. Not sure if that's going to be a part of the next podcast or uploaded here on YouTube as a separate download. And also be sure to search for us on your favorite podcasting app, Saturday Night Slamcasters. Be sure to subscribe to us, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. Anything else you got?
That's all I got. Can't wait to Sunday, Elimination Chamber.
All right. We'll holler at you guys. Like I said, thanks for listening to Saturday Night Slamcasters. Holler at your boy. Come get slammed. Peace.